What is going on, collectors? Optical 20 back for another video review. Today we're gonna take a look at Legolas from Asmus Collectibles, and you can purchase this figure and other Lord of the Rings collectibles at bigbadtoystore.com. I'll put the link down below. Love buying from Big Bad, man. $4 shipping, especially now that Asmus charges shipping. It almost breaks even, so you might as well get it from Big Bad. So if something goes wrong, they're easy to deal with, you know. And let's take a look at this figure. Initially, just give you a backstory here. I wasn't planning on picking this up until I sold my first version. So I was just like, you know what? I always secretly wanted to upgrade because of the hair. The hair for the first version is dated. It's color yellow. Can't move the head, you know. It's supposed to be an archer, but you know, you can only do so many things when that hair is like on the way. But as far as this guy, let's unbox him. You can see there's you know, a lot of accessories here, sort of like the first one. You know, nothing short of accessories, but this one does have a sword that looks like, I think, King Theoden. This is the Two Towers version compared to the first one, which is, I believe, the Fellowship of the Ring. So there's certain differences, not huge, but certain differences. The biggest one, I would say, is the head sculpt and the inclusion of the rooted hair. Let's take a look at some accessories here. So let's start off with the hands. You got fisted hands. You got several variations of arrow holding hands. Some gripping hands there. I would say, though, they don't have proper hands to hold the sword and those blades. They do have hands that you could, you know, kind of fit that in, but they resembles more of a trigger finger to me than actual gripping, you know, gripping hands. I don't know why they didn't include that. However, I would say their hands have come a long way, because if you've been with me throughout this journey, I've been reviewing Asmus for the past 8-9 years now, since the beginning, and their hands have steadily improved now to a point where does look like Hot Toys hands. Not gonna lie, there's no excess, you know, rubber or plastic there anymore. And you see his blade with this nice carving, elvish carvings in there. The smaller ones is to hide on his back, so it, you know, you don't have to put the entire, so it kind of mimics it's inside a sheath. And with his bow, looks nice. It looks wood, but it's made out of plastic. And you know, you can see the paint. It looks like it's chipping there. I don't even know if that's what it's supposed to be, but that's how I interpret it to be. And the sword, that looks pretty well. You know, I do like the design, the sheath, everything here. And I like the fact, this is what I like about Asmus, those leather pieces. So they mix it up, right? Like that goes to his belt. It is made out of rubber, because we all know those pleather pieces does peel over time and starts to break. They should do this. Like them and 3-0 are pretty good at doing that. It mimics the look of a leather, but it's actually rubber. So that would last longer. And this base that has not changed for 8 years. And let's take a look at the deluxe version that I did get, and you see this is nicely done. Like everything from the, I love diorama pieces, because you can use this for several figures, especially if you're in photography, but this one in particular just feels premium. It snaps easily. It does have magnets. It has some nice weight to it, and it comes in different pieces that you could assemble. And you see this ladder right here. You could, you know, for $90. And if you think that is expensive, wait till you buy like a standalone piece. It'll cost you upwards. Like the base itself for a third party, you know, like this gargoyle holding, it's like $130. And this one's only what, like, come out like $80 or $90 with all these magnet pieces. It is beautiful. Like I said, look at all those ridges and the paint application here. If you have the space, and not even just display it, because I'm not going to display him with this base, it takes too much. I have way too many figures, but I have so many uses for this. You know, you can remove this. You can just have the base if you want to. This stand right here. You can see even the ladder steps and all that stuff. It is beautiful. Some cracked here, and even on the top they put the kind of like the space between all these bricks. It is beautiful. I give kudos to Asmus. They gotta continue doing this. I am a huge fan. And now look at the tailoring. One thing I would say though, and see those hands, the one that we have? Yeah, I'm not a big fan of those. But I would say with Asmus, I've been critical of their head sculpt in the past, you know, few releases that I did have. Their tailoring is on point. The choice of materials always feels. I have Asmus for 8-7 years now that has not deteriorated. No flaking, nothing like that. See this armor pieces and the way they assemble it makes sense. You know, it doesn't hinder any articulation. Like they could have chosen a more thicker fabric, but they always go with a thinner one so it would drape nicely, and also it doesn't bunch up. So I give them kudos to that. And even this cloak right here, they know where to cut the seam so that you see that this beautiful, is that a peacock? Yeah, on his quiver you can see it just flows out because the hood does have this, they put a slit on it so you could just slit it out, and you know, you want to showcase the beauty of this thing. It even has a hood on it, so they're on point when it comes to tailoring, at least for the Lord of the Rings, as far as I've been collecting this, because I'm a huge Lord of the Rings fans, and I've actually missed some of their releases that, you know, I might just, you know, go back and take a look. So we shall see. You see how it works here down from the waist down as well, and 2-part boots. So I'll show you the articulation right after this. But I am well aware. Oh, we'll show the head sculpt first. So a lot of people are saying he doesn't look like Orlando Bloom. In hand, I'm gonna tell you, it is a lot better in hand than what you see in the pictures. I think the problem is on the pictures, he looks a little bit more tan. I think they got the lips. I think they got the nose. The eyes could be a little better. But with that being said, it is a lot better in hand than what you see in the pictures. You just saw, you know, the transition that I did. It is not perfect. It's not. But it still works, in my opinion. It's still pretty good. Now, the hair is nice. I can tell you that right now. There's a lot of movement. This hybrid of sculpted works for Legolas. For whatever reason, I didn't feel that it worked for, man, I forgot his name, Agent Smith. I didn't feel it worked there, but it worked freely here. I don't know why, but it just, you know, maybe it's the two pieces that's rubber. I don't know, but you see, there's certain angles that it's just Orlando Bloom. I think that when it's kind of like quarter from the side, I think it's the eyes that's a bit throwing it off. But even with that, I think it's still a pretty good likeness. Not 10 out of 10, but still pretty darn good, you know, in my opinion. Now, we're going to talk about InArt. They are going to produce their own Legolas from what I heard, but hey, that is going to be a lot of money as well. So, hey, articulation, you can see the neck here, he moves around. One thing I would say though is I've seen on forums, collector freaks, that they have some issues with the neck peg inside. I did as well, so be careful. It's easy to fix, but you know, still shouldn't be happening in 2022. You see the kick there. There's a lot of range of movement here. You know, split cut boot. You got the double bend on the elbows, the shoulders, everything, and then they're ratcheted as well. So the body is just feels different. You know, they should improve their bodies over time, I hope, with Asmus, because like I said, I'm having trouble with that neck peg, which I'm not a big fan of. That was an old issue back in the Hot Toys days, with like anything with a neck joint or something like that, but shouldn't be happening now, you know. But hey, it is what it is. It's still pretty good for $195. So let's put him in some poses. You can see here he can pull this off, you know, like just full extension. I could have extended a little bit more, but you know, That's what it is. I didn't want to damage it completely, but I love it. I love the poses. And this is what I'm talking about. You see the hands that he does have? It looks like trigger finger hands. It looks like he's holding a gun. Why is his trigger finger like that? I don't really know. But yeah, this should have been just like tighter holding, you know, weapon hand. I don't know why. But it works. It works. It's a little bit loose though. You can see there. He's kind of almost holding the thing itself, the blade itself. But here he is holding his sword with his bow, just looking badass. And this is him fully loaded, just ready to fight, man. Looks beautiful right here, man. I love Lord of the Rings, and I love this figure more than I thought I would. I'd say that. Looks really nice here, and again, the range of movement that you can put here. Oh, the Trinity. My goodness. Gimli, one of Asmus' best. This Legolas, it's up there, man. Aragorn, this could improve. And this might be, you know, one of those things where we'll see what InArt does when hopefully they gave us an Aragorn that we could actually, or Asmus, once again, try another one, because it is decent. It's decent, but it's not quite there. And this is him right next to this. I love when Asmus does this deluxe. I hope they continue doing this because it just adds flair to the display, to the figure. Look at that. With Aragorn and him, it just kind of tells a story right there. I love it. Keep on doing it. The price is just, I think the price is pretty good when it comes to Asmus. So I don't mind, you know, just going for the deluxe version. I don't mind at all. And there you go, guys. This is my final thoughts on Legolas. I think it's a must buy if you are a Lord of the Rings fan. Now, you can also tell me that, hey, InArt is just around the corner. Why would you settle for this? If InArt does this, this is going to be like $400 or $500. Now, I love Lord of the Rings, don't get me wrong. And I might still buy that if they come out with one, because that's how much I love Lord of the Rings. But at the same time, if you buy that, would you be willing to, you know, post that as crazy as I would post this guy? Because that's going to be like $400 or $500. That's probably going to be in a museum post for me. This one could be a, you know, a potential sub, I would say, or a second figure that you can have fun with. Because now you're not worried that you're going to mess this up, because the price is pretty good. It's $195 at Big Bad Toy Store if you don't want the deluxe version. And this one, you know, you can, at $195, that is really affordable for $1.6 nowadays. So therefore, if you want to buy the InArt and, you know, put it on the display case, not touch it ever again, you know, that will be your display. And now this is the type of figure that you could actually have fun with, you know, pose him around, you know, you won't have any fears whatsoever. And is it really that bad to have like two Legolas at the end of the day, you know? So I would say go for it. It's a great figure. I would say it, and you don't hear that much from Asmus nowadays, but I would say go for it. But again, thank you for watching. Subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys in the next video.